Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how you can apply bokeh filter to a live camera preview in Expo React Native to blur the background for Android using CAMERAX. So let's get started. So first let me show you guys the output. So here is the output. So first it asks for camera permission. I'll just give the camera permission, and here you can see my background is blurred. So here is my face. Now I know the back. So once I click on capture button, it will capture the image and display it inside an image view. Now I know the background has not that big, it has not blurred that much, but unfortunately I don't know how to set, like how to change that particular value, because the bokeh filter is part of the CAMERAX extension. It could be related to my device, like I'm using a high-end Samsung Galaxy Android device, but maybe you can test it on your, if you have OnePlus or Pixel device, and let me know if you are getting a better background blur or not. But this is what I get the output. So yeah, let's see how to achieve this. Let's get started. So first we need to create a project. So for that you can go to this particular URL over here. So let me just quickly go to my Expo project. I have already created it, but I'll just show you what all steps you need to follow to create an Expo project. So first, to create an Expo project, like I said, project, you can go to this particular URL over here, and you can select whatever template you want. I've used this blank TypeScript template because it has TypeScript support and it has very less boilerplate code. Now to create a project, you can directly run npx create expo app @latest -- template blank TypeScript. Okay, so it will create a project for you. Now all the code which I have written is via native code, so there is no third-party library available at the time of me recording this. So that's why you need to come to this particular URL over here. You have to select Android device, you have to select development build, then enable or disable ES depending on you. I have disabled it. Then select your operating system. So I have already installed Watchman, I have already installed Cache Zulu, I have already set the Java home path as well. Then I have already installed Android Studio as well. So I have already done all these settings which has been mentioned in the documentation. And then I have already set the path as well. Then I have done all this stuff as well. Then you need to cd to your Expo React Native project, and then copy this particular command and paste it over here. So this will again run some dependencies. So I have already ran that again. I have already ran it, and then you need to copy this and paste it again. Again I have already ran this. So this will create the Android folder for you inside your Expo React Native project. So once the Android folder is created, you should see a folder like this, Android folder like this, as you can see over here. Next, to write native code, we need to create our own module. So for that you can come to this documentation, copy this particular command and paste it over here. Now it will ask you for few questions like what should be the module name and everything. Just press enter 3 times and it will automatically create a module. I have kept everything as default. So here you can see this is the module. Now again I'll just close this cheat sheet. Now let's see the actual code. So first let's see how to use it. So inside my app.tsx, these are all the imports which I have. Now if you have named your module differently, you will have to change this name accordingly. So here I have this use state for image URL and one state for camera permission as well. And here I'm just checking whether the user is using Android 10 and above, because from Android 10 and above we don't require write external storage permission. So here I have method. If the platform is Android, depending on Android version, I'm asking for respective permission. And then here I'm just checking whether permission was granted or not, and if the permission was granted, then I'm just changing the value of our state over here as well as over here. Then inside use effect, I'm just calling this particular method. Then here we have this image URI not equal to empty. That means user has already captured the image and we can display the image inside React Native's image element. If the camera permission is granted, then we can display the live camera preview using my module view. And here we get the image URI. So here we set it inside our image URL state. And in case camera permission is also not given, we display a text saying camera permission not granted, and these are all the styles for it. Then you need to go to modules, my module, go to Android, sorry not Android, go to src my module.type.ts, and here what I have done, I have commented these 2 lines of code because we are not accepting any prop, so we don't require this URL. And instead of on load, I want the email, like the callback, to be on image taken. That's why I have named it like this. Rest everything is same. Okay, now don't get confused with this particular URL. This is the return type, like the image URL return type, and this is the URL. This URL is for a prop. So that's why I have not commented this out. I have only commented this one out. Then you need to go to Android, you need to go to build.gradle, and in here you need to add this dependencies block. Inside that you need to add camera core, camera 2, camera lifecycle, camera view, camera extension, as well as app compat dependency. So maybe we can make this even better, because in case if tomorrow Expo switches to Kotlin Gradle, then that might fail. That's why this will work in both Kotlin Gradle as well as Groovy Gradle. Currently it is using Groovy Gradle. So this dependencies you need to add. Then you need to go to the main Android folder, go to app, src main android manifest.xml. By default write external storage is present when we create an Expo React Native project. If it is not, make sure you add that. And here I have added this uses feature of Android hardware camera as well as camera permission. Then you need to go to Java, sorry, not Java, you need to close this, go to your modules, go to src Java, and here you first go to mymodule.kt, and here inside this view of mymodule view I have commented this prop thing out because we are not using any prop, and instead of this events on load I have taken this events on image taken. That's why I have commented this particular thing out as well. So we only have this particular thing. Next, let's move on to mymoduleview.kt file. Mymoduleview.kt file, these are all the imports. I'll simply scroll through this file. By default there is some by default there is some boilerplate code which is present related to web view. You can completely delete that code as well. So these are all the imports which we have. So I'm simply scrolling through this imports. Feel free to pause the video and just copy all these imports. So here we have this mymodule view. Okay, and here we have this on image taken event dispatcher. Here we get hold of our activity. This is our frame layout, this is our image capture as well, this is our capture button, this is our preview view, here is our camera executor service, here is our process camera provider. Then we initialize our frame layout and set it layout params for it. Then we add it to our parent view. Then for our viewfinder, the camera preview view, we set layout params as well. Then for that we call this install hierarchy filter. So I'll come back to this why we are doing exactly this. Then we add the viewfinder to our frame layout. Then we set the text background color, text color alpha to our capture button. Then here we set the button params, layout params for our capture button. Then we add the capture button to our frame layout. We add a click listener to it as well. Then we override on attached to window, and if we have the camera permission, then we do viewfinder.post call setup camera, and on detach from window we shut down our camera executor, we unbind our camera provider. Here we call this hacky code. Why we need to do this? If you want to learn more, you can go to this particular URL. So basically this is an issue which has been open in React Native's repo since past 8 years. They have still not fixed it. If you don't do this, you will just see a black screen, you will not see your live camera preview. Then here we have this take photo method where we get hold, first check image capture is not equal to null. Then we set the name using simple date format. Then inside content where we pass display name, mime type, and if Android version greater than p, we also set the relative path. Then here we define the image capture dot output file options. Then we do image capture dot take picture, and here we override on error as well as on image saved. And once the image has been captured, we send it back to React Native or Expo side with the help of this on image taken. Then we unbind our camera provider. Here we just check whether we have the proper camera permissions or not, and here we just have normal variables for our particular file. Then next comes the most interesting part, camera. So first we initialize our aspect ratio strategy, then we initialize our resolution selector, then we initialize our process camera provider, then we add the camera provider future dot add listener. We initialize our camera provider, we set it to this particular variable. Then here we get our extension manager, we add a listener to it, that as well. Then here we get the actual extension manager. Then here we check first whether the device supports this particular bokeh filter or not. If not, then we just display a normal camera preview, nothing else. So first let's see if your device does support bokeh filter. Then you see a toast message saying extension available. We initialize the preview view, we initialize our image capture, then here we define our selector as well, and then we unbind our camera provider, we bind it to the lifecycle by passing the selector as well over here. If your device does not support bokeh filter, then we display a toast saying no extension. We initialize our preview view, we initialize our image capture, we unbind our camera provider, we bind it to the lifecycle over here, and for the last two we just passed our context compat.get main executor. So yeah, that's all there is to it. Thank you for watching. Bye.